how do we do? How do we do to make a video that would serve a higher purpose? That would be my question. The answer I'm looking for to better serve. Okay. Hello, human friends. Today, we remember what answers are and how to find them. We need clarity. We need to clear. We're going to get out of the mind, right? In my nose. Yes, I love that gate because it's mental and it's logical. And even if I love mystical and metaphysical stuff, I do like to anchor in logical approaches as well. So it's about finding clarity, and I love it because I love words, and in the words we find the answers sometimes. And who doesn't like a little bit of clarity to welcome the answer? Clarity, clearing. So make some space. Get out of that mind, because one thing that can be on the way is all that mental pressure and you trying to see all the possibilities of solutions, all the decisions, all the things you are looking for an answer, all the potential answers. And it's actually doesn't feel right, because the right answers is lost maybe in there, or maybe not even there. And time to clear the mind, right? Get out of there, even if it's a mental energy, is by really creating space. And how you do that? Well, you move. Move your body, you get out of your mind, you go in the body, because you're meant to move. Movement. All right, another thing that is on the way for us to find the answers is the fear of the future. It's about now, right? The answers are to be found now. And if you live in the fear, one frequency, of the future, one timeline, you're not at the right place, right? So it's really an invitation for you, for us, to practice presence. How do we do that? Well, we stop what we are doing. We breathe consciously, because breathing is automatic, but we can also do it consciously and even control it. You cannot control the heartbeat, but you can control the breath, right? That's pretty cool, because that influences all your experience mentally and in your body. So be present in your breath, look around what is in your environment, and how you feel in your body, plus your thoughts, what's happening there, without judgment, without trying to control them. They will pass and then slowly calm down. As soon as you start to get to observe them, they act like little kiddos pinching the candies from the jar. They stop. Oops. So you could do that. And also what my mentor is encouraging me to do at the moment, that's practice of closing my eyes and seeing, feeling, staying in the present. That requires practice, but then you stand in that void. But in that void, you are also in the field of potentialities. And it's a pretty cool space to be. And that's where you can get the answers. That's a spot where the answers hang out. So why not visit, Then also another thing that gets on the way, stubbornness. If we have, the things that we put to the horses, you can only see one way. So take that off, and open up to new perspectives, to new fields of answers and solutions. Conviction and certainty are great to empower ourselves and for self-leadership. We know what we're doing, but when it comes to find an answer and a solution that we cannot find at the moment, like stubbornness and conviction, and can be, not so serving us. So curiosity is also a beautiful element to self-leadership. Stay open to new perspectives, right? Access the bigger picture. I'll talk about it really soon. Anyway, so with stubbornness, there's also that resistance, and you might know that idea. What you resist persists. What you push, it's not a right flow. So stop pushing, stop resisting, stop going into that direction to find the answer, because this is not a right frequency. right? So have you ever experienced like that true freedom and clarity and suddenly that magnetism of the resolution when you drop it all off, when you let go, when you give up on finding the answer and the solution, when you stop forcing it? So I'll keep saying it, what you resist persists, and it's not by pushing that you'll find it, right? And you might really know that concept already, but maybe not. Have you ever really practiced that? Maybe today, give it a go, let it go. Is there really something that you really have to do right now that is a threat for your survival? I'm sure there are so many things on the list that are on the way of you finding the solution, the resolution, the answer that you could drop to create more space, right? It's about really creating more space for the answers to come. Also with that gate, there is an aspect of timing. It's trust. It's an invitation to trust, so letting go of finding it by trusting that it's coming at the right time. Like not everything is meant to happen right now, right? We need stuff for the next right now to happen. So really trust that the answer will come. And then you enter that frequency of flow, as I was saying, but also peace, the path of less resistance, as we call it, right? And then your frequency is changing, right? Speaking about the shift of frequency a lot. Even the earth itself changing its frequency. And the collective, individuals, you, me, us, are called to shift our frequency. So by changing your frequency, change your frequency. Easy you'll say, but actually not so hard. Requires maybe a bit of practice, but it's simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. Okay. So what I want to add with that, it's a question. Are you ready for the answer? Sit with that. Because if you resist, well, the answer not going to come. If you are in that frequency of, I'm never going to find the answer, impossible solution, impossible, not an answer, right? But if you believe that it's not going to happen, you're not in the right frequency, so you're not really ready to receive the answer. But if you trust it will come, then, how do you feel? How do you feel when you got the answer of what you are trying to figure out? That's a practice you could do. Like sit with it. I found the solution. Don't have to have it precisely in mind because you're still looking for it, right? But how does that feel when you found it? And then frequency and law of attraction and magnetism, if you are in the frequency of the right answer, suddenly it comes. Try that. Try to feel how it feels when you found the answer. I have to mention though that its gate is more collective future oriented. So even though you're gonna experience it individually, it's also a call to see it as a bigger picture, because if you find it, someone else could benefit from it, and so the collective. It's really, for me, for you, for us, energy that supports your evolution, so does mine, and so the collective can rise, right? And so here, it's also another little trick, accessing the bigger picture, right? Zooming out, and by having more perspectives, we talked about that, we can then see patterns and find formulas that would lead to that resolution. And so when we zoom out and look at the collective, like those patterns that repeats themselves, the one that serves the better good and the not so better good, but that we can reuse or readjust, recalibrate with the present time towards the future, because it's an evolution, but some patterns can serve to find the answers. serve the collective. Patterns, formulas that can really, move us towards the future. So if you are searching for answers, well, maybe start with what answer? What is the question? Some people are a bit lost even with that, you know? So finding the answers by getting out of your mind, being in your body, don't fear the future, know the answer will come at the right timing. Zoom out, access the bigger picture, gain perspective, don't be so stubborn. Believe in your convictions, but be curious to others. And know that is by standing in the frequency of the right answer that it will come to you, and also have that idea that it would serve not only you, but probably me and others, right? Enjoy the transit. I'll see you in a few days for the next one. Another gate of the human design mandala that gives us insights and little practices to reconnect with our humanity and know what it is all about. All right, bye for now.